Thank you for having me this afternoon to speak about one of my favorite subjects, which is accessorizing. Like Erica mentioned, my name's Alicia Richmond, and I'm the founder and stylist for Chic on a Shoestring, which is a wardrobe and image styling company. I also am the fashion editor for Good Things Utah on ABC4 and have a weekly fashion segment on that program. And so we talk a lot about bridal wear, accessories, evening wear. I just did the recap for the Oscars a few weeks ago. And for those of you who watched that, you might have noticed there's a new trend that's coming out. Very few of the women had necklaces. We're not seeing necklaces right now. And you'll notice on the brides that I haven't done necklaces because the rule of thought with this is that when you have such a beautiful neckline, the necklace can complicate it. If you have a really simple neckline, then the necklace will enhance it. So I'm going to go ahead and ask our brides and bridesmaids to come out. This will be fun for you. Now you can see them all together so you can compare and contrast what they've got on. One thing is in fashion right now, and fashion dictates some in the bridal industry. I mean, obviously not as much, because when you're looking at a bride, you really want to have it be what you love, not what you're getting pushed into with the trends, because it's your day. And I always recommend that too to brides that I style is, what do you love? You know, don't get stuck in a trend because all the magazines are saying you must have this and this is what's in. When you look back at those pictures, you want to just reminisce and love it. And so one thing that I like to do is I don't like to be matchy-matchy. So I think it's really nice with your accessories that you can mix. Let's have our bride here, who's our modern bride. So we talked about the ruching and all the details, the ruffles. And notice that she's got this wonderful pearl, and then it's got some crystals intermixed in here in her bracelet. And then we've gone crystal with her earrings. Now, it used to be when I got married, it was matchy-matchy everything. And so typically we would have done pearls with it. But now it's fun to mix in that little bit of sparkle with something that's classic. That's also another tip that I recommend to brides is when you're looking at accessories, try to find something that has a meaning to it or that's vintage. I love going through maybe your mother's jewelry box, maybe your grandmother's jewelry box, because it has a story and you're going to remember that. All right, thank you so much. Okay, so with that said, this to me, this dress right here on Taylor Ann is very vintage, but it is modern because we're seeing that turn around with the bohemian chic and the boho looks, obviously the ivory. But what I love about it is notice her hair. We just got the simple flower, and none of the brides are wearing veils. Did you notice that too? So veils have gone, they go through a cyclical fashion cycle, and right now, not as popular. When I was married, everyone had the veils, and we had like the big tooling in the back, and now we're just going a lot more simple. But I like the little flower because that has that, you know, ease and simplicity to it. One thing too is notice, again, we took just a simple bracelet, but with the silver entwined with the pearl, it has that vintage look to it. And then just a dangly earring, which I like because it floats with her hair, with the French embroidered lace and the empire. I think it just enhances. And that's one thing you want to ask yourself with accessories is, am I detracting from the dress or am I framing the dress? Accessories are meant to be the framing feature of the dress. Okay, thank you. Okay, and then we'll have our traditional dress come up here. So she's got a lot going on with all the beading, with the taffeta. We've got the tooling. So we've got 3 different elements to this gown. So really the accessories should be very minor, very simple. But one thing we did is vintage brooch. So you could go through, again, like we were talking about, your grandmother or your mother's jewelry box, find that brooch and attach it onto the sash that's coming around. That's going to have meaning. Kind of, you know, we always used to think of something borrowed, something blue. This could be your something borrowed. The earrings, very vintage inspired. Large, because she's got an updo. So if you've got an updo, I like to keep the earring almost in a button shape, because you're going to really see it, but it's not going to detract from the hair because it all really does blend together. And then bracelet. This is very vintage inspired. So I think it's fun to mix something modern, something vintage, something sparkly, just so you've got your own look going. And that's really what the accessories will do. All right, thank you. So let's look at our bridesmaids. First, we're going to look at the pewter. And this right now is a very big color in fashion, just like we heard that gray is where we're going in terms of tuxedos and in terms of bridesmaids. What I love about this is that you can also mix that in with the accessories on your bridesmaid. So you can take the floral, which we just saw in the hair, but now we're seeing it on almost like a corsage look, but it's silk, and then mixed in with the colored pearls. And then the earrings, really simple, and they've just got that sparkly rhinestone laced in with the silver, the sterling silver. Okay, thank you. So we've seen a lot of silver, but if you're not a silver person, something that's coming back around again is rose gold. And rose gold has that pink tone to it. And I like rose gold because it's not as harsh as traditional gold. So it used to be one of the traditions was if you had a bridesmaid that you would give them a gift. Now some braids still do that, some don't. It just depends which direction you want to go into. But I think the jewelry is always a really nice bridesmaid gift. And I like this because it's got the rose gold. It's just a simple Y lariat. And then it's got the little pink almost pearl. Now you would never ever want to do like really bright accessories because she's got this bright color on, so it's just very simple and flowing. And then we mixed in rose gold on the earring with the little pearls, and all of this jewelry is from the Emporium here at Thanksgiving Point. They do a great job selecting out accessories. I found all the pieces there, and then again just really simple on the bracelet, something that's very dainty and feminine. Okay, thank you. Then let's look at our last bridesmaid. So this goes back to that we've got this traditional, well, almost I would say vintage look because it's got the rolled collar and then simple styling with the box pleats here. So we don't want to do any kind of necklace because the neckline makes a statement all on its own. Chose very simple minor earrings, but then did something very fun with the bracelet. So this has the silver again with the big chunky. Notice how this is a little bit more chunky than the pieces that we saw, almost like a cuff. And then it's got the rhinestones that have a little bit of that gray tint to them. So as you can see, thank you very much. There's a lot of different varieties that you can do with accessories right now. But again, the key is to just keep it simple, enhance the bridesmaid and the bride. And again, focal point, always their lovely face. So everything should come up and frame in the face beautifully. All right, thank you ladies very much. Does anyone have any questions on accessories or trends that are following in that direction? No? All right. Oh, yes. Yeah. I think the question is if you have a bracelet that has a floral detail on the bracelet, would you still have her carry a bouquet? I don't think she would necessarily need to. That could be, and you could do fresh flowers in with that bouquet if you wanted to, or in with that bracelet, excuse me, if you wanted to as well. So it could go either way. If you are going to use that type of bracelet style for your bridesmaids, you should make sure that the floral enhances with that bracelet so it's not detracting. Okay, anyone else? All right, well, thank you so much.